I have moved into an apartment with the most beautiful panorama I could find near the border. Austria truly inspires me. I can see the street winding up the opposite hill, the rows of houses, and above them the ever-changing horizon. When the sky is clear and the sun begins to set, I can observe every shade of pink. It's beautiful how it paints the mountains. And there are plenty of mountains here. Near the border, it does not quite have that full alpine vibe yet, but even the lower ones break up the monotony of the landscape. What's more, everywhere I look, I see something interesting. Waterfalls, streams, bridges, large houses with shutters, the work of diligent hands. Well-maintained yards with perfectly trimmed bushes, newly asphalted roads. I don't understand why my ex wasn't as enthusiastic as I am. Although I have no idea what he could have thought about this country, it seemed an impossible mission to get to know his thoughts. Then I started to fear that I was just trying to open the lid of an empty box. If that was the case, he hid it well. For a while, I thought he was just reserved and hadn't yet figured out how to put into words what truly preoccupied him. He never mentioned how it felt to cross the border twice a week, when the landscape and the appearance of the towns change in an instant around him, as if he had stepped into a hidden dimensional gate to another world. Even now, a year later, I still think with disbelief about how two such different worlds can exist so close to each other, so much so that in one the suffocating cloud of decay settles upon me, while in the other I don't pass by abandoned, crumbling houses and wide lands stretching into the distance. It makes me sad that my home reminds me of decay. My ex only mentioned one thing about his Austrian impression. It's amazing how much better people live here. And after that, the lenses of his glasses even started to darken. When I asked him how he felt about us knowing each other already for 6 months, he sat on the ground with eyes full of tears and confessed that he no longer wanted to walk in the forest with me or watch movies while my dog snored curled up at our feet. We wouldn't be buying the country house with land together either. Since I had placed my trust in him, I was reacquainted with that familiar choking sensation that I occasionally have to treat when I open a window a little wider. But now I routinely remember that while time slips through my fingers, everything will fade anyway. Finding the most suitable strategy for grieving requires energy. I didn't choose the most effective strategy So within a few weeks, I started meeting new people and observing the scent of their perfume, their hairstyles, the tone of their voice. I always asked a lot of questions, so I wouldn't have to talk about myself. This way, it felt less overwhelming to have to search again for what I had lost. I felt this was forever and that I was helpless, so I changed my strategy. I focused on improving the look of my apartment, jogging on a treadmill, cycling on my exercise bike, consuming healthy smoothies, and watching a wide range of instructional videos on fostering healthy connections. I analyzed them, recognizing patterns, learning to articulate exactly what I was looking for, and if it seemed likely that I had stumbled upon it, how to recognize if it was truly so. I filled my mind with valuable thoughts, improved my attitude, and didn't lose sight of the fact that I expected the same from my partner. And if I don't find what I'm looking for, I will buy the country house and the plot of land alone. The sunlight breaking through the tree branches, the smell of the earth, the trace of the season's rhythm will still all be mine when the time comes. Slowly but surely, I'm building what I want, even if it still seems invisible.